All right, class. So I promised to make a video for the hotel class. The problem is I don't have the room class that I wrote here at school, so I'm going to go with this room class, which was written a long time ago. Looks pretty good. Yeah, looks pretty similar, I guess. All right, so let's go to the hotel class, which has some interesting things going on. And let's say it says design a class called hotel. It will hold 3 instance variables, 1 constructor, and 6 methods. So hotel name, rooms, and total. Hotel name is a string. Int is, oh wait, not total rooms. Sorry. And then we have a rooms array. It's an array of room objects. So what does that look like? Well, you have to say the type, and then let's give the square braces, and the variable name is rooms. So it looks like that. That is our rooms array. So now we're going to write a constructor. And what types are? It should take 3 arguments. 1 specifying the hotel name. 1 specifying the total number of rooms. And the number of floors. Set the total number of rooms to the specified input value. Okay, so like hotel name equals H, and total room equals R. And then what do we got? Then declare the rooms array to have spots for the correct number of rooms. So this is a little bit of an issue. I see some people go rooms equals new room, and then they put R in there, like total rooms, basically. But they're not quite clear, I think, is what's happening. Let's say we got 40 rooms, right? And I execute line 11. Well, I've now created an array of which has 40 spots in it, indexing from 0 to 39, right? If it was like 900, the array would be of size 900 with locations 0 to 899. That's what we're working with, right? That's what we're working with. We have to work with those locations. We can't, change those locations to be the room number locations or some other more convenient value. Like we have to work with 0 to 1 less than the size of the array in terms of location of the array. So the room number will be a value between 100 and 999. The first digit will correspond to what for the room is on, and the second 2 digits should count progressively higher. Yeah. Each floor will have the same number of rooms. You can assume that the inputs will guarantee this behavior. Every floor will have we don't know how many double queen rooms, 4 single kings, and 1 suite. They're guaranteed to be at least 5 rooms. The suite will have the highest number on the floor. I guess that's why I kind of went back. Single king rooms will have the 4 next highest numbers. I think a lot of people did it differently, where they went from the bottom up, sort of thing. Then they write the accessor message, blah 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 blah. So by far, the constructor is the hardest thing to deal with. What's up, Tim? The hardest thing to deal with here, and hard to sort of test how this is working. So I have a tester class here. You can really only have 1 main class. Let's see if I can just move the tester class somewhere. Must say. All right, you know what? I'm just gonna delete this. Let's get back later. All right, so I'm just gonna kind of make my thing live here, just so I can see what happens. Right? Now, here's what I've got sort of live in this main method right now. I'm creating a hotel, right? And then I'm going to iterate through the array and print out the rooms in the array, each room in the array. So that's what I've got. And that'll just help me kind of understand how my constructor is working. We can kind of test this as we go. There's a couple different ways to do it. You could, I suppose, do this without different variable values. It's just easier for me to keep track of the variable values. So I might want to say, like, you know, rooms per floor is equal to R divided by floors, right? So some people wanted to create a structure. I've seen a lot of people do this where they're iterating through the floors, right? Putting each room on the floor. So that's kind of reasonable. So let me say on the outside, I could say this is even int. I could call it floor. Yeah, I call it floor. And I could start it out at 1 if I want to, and say it's going to be floor, less than equal to floors. That's reasonable. And then we'll increment the value of floor by 1, right? And then on the inside of this, I could say for, now in this case, let's say I have 15 rooms on a floor, right? I'm going to be going from 0 to 14. I hope you agree. So really, if I want to say, let's say, we'll call this like the number. It's kind of like the room number. So I'm going to say that's equal to rooms per floor minus 1. Or I can just put rooms per floor minus 1 in there. That's reasonable. I can do that, I guess. And then say rooms per floor greater equal to 0. And then rooms per floor minus. Didn't like that. Oh. Do you want some food? Okay. So I think like that. I'm trying to reverse index on the bottom side. So here's what we got to do. We got to put things into this array, and we need to start from 0. So I don't have a variable right now that's going to start from 0, and I don't have a variable that's just going to increment by 1 every time, even though I think I have the right number of rooms potentially created here, right? Because if I take number of floors times rooms per floor, I should come up with a total again. But I don't have a variable to index like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, those locations in the array. So I'm going to create a variable called index, right? I'm going to make it equal to 0. And then here I'm going to say rooms index, right? And this is going to be some new room. And we got to figure this out later. And I'll probably move this thing around at some point, but right now I'm just going to index inside here so that makes sense. And I think I'm putting, if I go back to my room class, I think I'm putting, okay, room number first and then the string name. Okay, so let's try this. Room number first. So the floor, right, is going to be 1. So times 100 will give me like 100 value, right? Then I think I'm just going to add rooms per floor to that. So, if that's like 14, it'll be like 114, right? And then let me just put some arbitrary type of room in there right now. I'm going to put everything's going to be a suite right now. So let's see how this works. I'm not liking this structure. can't do that? I can do that. Oh, right. I could declare the variable, but I have to assign the value. All right. All right, I'm gonna say this is int num, right, equals this value, right? And then we'll say as long as num is greater than or equal to 0, and then we'll decrement num by 1 every time. How about that? And instead of rooms per floor, I'm gonna put num in there. I like it. I think it's reasonable. And I'm gonna try to run this right now. And see what happens. Print out each room in the array. And I have some interesting results. Let's see. So we go 109. So I'm starting with the highest value in for 100, and I'm making a suite. And we go down all the way down to 100. I do want to see that it goes down to 100 and then becomes 209. So that looks pretty good. So now I just have to figure out a way to only make one suite and then make 4 kings and the rest queens. Now, by the way, could I just set the occupant? I could actually use the set occupant method in here. Whatevs. But I'm gonna leave it like this. So I only want to do one suite. And no index is not well, I guess at this moment when nums is equal to rooms per floor minus 1, that's really the only time I want to make that suite, right? So I could say if num equals rooms per floor minus 1, right? Then let's do that thing. So we'll create that thing. That's only going to happen now one time, right? And just for sanity's sake, let's take this line here. Clear. And we'll end up making these things. How do I make these things? What am I doing? I'll make these things double queen so we can see that there's a difference and that we're not making the same thing every time. Let's see how that works. Okay. Oh, but I didn't get a suite. I never got a suite. If nums equals rooms per floor. I understand. Interesting. What's the value of num? Print. Print. If only it was so easy. This out. Now let's see what those values are. I'm especially curious the first time. $10 and $9? Oh, right, yeah. Really? Ah. little grouping issue, perhaps. No. All right, rooms performance one. No. Let's check this. Well, yeah, the first time they're both 9. They're 9. I'm getting 3. Oh, because the next time it's 9 and 8. Clearly, this is not happening. This is not happening. What am I missing? I'm missing something. I put that thing in there, but. Oh, I know what's happening, you silly monkey. Gosh, I spent a lot of time on this. Because the way I put this here, it's overwriting what I put there. So I do need an else statement. Really, I just need an else statement for this one line. That should do her. There we go. All right, yeah. That was lame. Okay. Anyways, but yeah, I mean that's what happens. You know, you gotta test these things. You gotta like look at the value of your variables. But variables were what I expected. It's just that structure wasn't quite right. But I like this now because, and I'm also indexing sort of at the end of this thing. So now I have to just like figure out how to put these king beds in there. All right, see you later. So how can I do that? I want to put 4 single kings in there, and I know every single time. There's going to be at least the opportunity to put 4 in there. Okay. So how about this? Let's do this. Let's make an else if structure. And I'm trying to think of a way to say this. So it's easier, I guess, if you're going from 0 up. It's easier for me to think of the number values that way. But let's say I take. So let me think about the variable num right now. Think about the variable num. Originally it was 9, and then the value becomes 8. And while num is between, or num is 8, num is 7. In this case, num is 8, num is 7, num is 6. And 5, right? So how could I do that? And what if it was bigger? What if it was like, say it was 15 or something like that? It would be 14. What's the structure? 44, so 10 per floor. So what if there were 15 per floor? Then you'd be talking about 4, you've got 13, 12, 11, 10. Would be the acceptable values, right? It's a weird one. I have a feeling it's modding by 5 and saying that the value is greater or equal to rooms per floor minus 5. Wow. So let's try that. If num mod 5 is equal to, what's up, Jonathan? So I'm trying something wild here. I'm saying this nums mod 5 is greater or equal to rooms per floor minus 5. What do you think about that? Then I want to put then I'm going to put single kings in there. Let's see if this works. You don't like this? You know, I can't say no. I have a great. Let's see this.
Hello. Morning. Good afternoon. What do you mean morning? It's always noon. It's daylight saving time. So,
Oh man, I got no single kings. No single kings. Nums mod 5. Oh, wait, why say nums mod 5? No, that's not going to work at all. No, that's horrible. That's not going to work at all. Hold on. All right, wait a second. I think I'm making this harder than it has to be. I have a variable. The variable is decreasing in value. I only want 4 more of these things to occur. So I think I can say as long as this variable is greater or equal to rooms per floor minus 5. What about that? What about that? It has to be above that value. I like that idea. What are we getting? There we go. How many we got? We got 4. Looks pretty good. And then, so just to test that idea, I might want to come down here and try, like, I don't know, let's try 300 rooms on 3 floors and see what happens. And, yeah, again, we're only getting 4 singles and all that good stuff. Aha! So I made it a little more difficult than I needed to, but let's take a look at this code here. So that seems like a way to sort of populate and fill that array. Other ways to do it too. I'm sure other people did it different ways. But hopefully that's helpful, and good luck. I think that's the big one, and then after that, should be able to figure out the rest of the stuff, okay?